Welcome to our Rework Toshi Pack review. If you're in the market for an urban everyday carry backpack, then you come to the right place. In this video, I'm going to take my experience from reviewing 500 plus of the world's best backpacks. And we're gonna break this bag down, we're gonna pack it out, I'm gonna give you my honest pros and cons. And if you're not quite sure if the Toshi Pack is the bag for you, I highly suggest sticking around to the end of the video. Reason being, I'll make some alternative suggestions for bags that are similar, bringing a few different things to the table. Because here at Nomads Nation, our goal is to help you find the best bag for your needs. Let's jump into the gist of the Rework Toshi Pack. And I'm not gonna lie, I'm really excited about this one. Because if you don't know, Rework is a brand who launched a backpack that did okay. And then they launched their second product, the Toshi Sling, which has been crushing it. So much that I actually invited the co-founders of Rework on the Nomads Nation podcast. And you can check out that episode in the corner. And it was really cool getting to know them and learn about the brand. And now I'm excited to kind of, dive into their first backpack and see what it's bringing to the table. Now let's start by going over some of the top features of the Rework Pack. We've got a very nice, urban-friendly silhouette. We've got not one, but two front pockets that are in fact connected, giving you ambidextrous quick access to the things in your bag. We'll talk about that a bit more in depth in the next section. We've got a top drop-in pocket, 1, 2 water bottle holders, clamshell style access to the main compartment, a back tech compartment, and a pretty comfy harness system. Not gonna lie, these shoulder straps, they got some chunk to them. As of recording, the Toshi Pack only comes in black. Now the size is 20 liters, which for me is perfect for an everyday carry and or a personal item travel bag. But for someone in the community, they do prefer their EDC one bag to be closer to 24 to 26 liters. It's just gonna depend on how much stuff you carry. But don't worry, we're gonna pack out the bag throughout the entire review so you can see exactly what it fits. For the dimensions of the bag, we got a height of around just under 18 inches. The back panel width is around 12 inches, and we'll measure the depth when the bag is fully packed out. I hope, sometimes we forget. We're gonna do it this time, Margaret, I believe in us. The bag feels pretty light. We're coming in at 2.3 pounds on scale number 1, and again, 2.3 pounds on scale number 2, which is right where you want it to be at this size. This is the bag when it's empty, and this is the bag when it's fully packed out and worn on the Nomads Nation team. For reference, I'm 5'8", and our media manager, Margaret, is 5'2". All Rework bags are covered by their lifetime warranty against manufacturing defects. And as of recording, the Toshi Pack runs around 189 USD. But if you're watching this in the first few weeks of the video going live, there should be a pre-order where you can actually get $20 off the price, bringing it to $169. And if at any point in this review you're thinking to yourself, holy moly, this bag's got it all. And it's at an affordable price point. I'm totally grabbing one. And you're gonna make a purchase or you wanna find out more information. We do recommend that you do so using the first link in the description below. Reason being, that link makes sure that you get the best price, and we oftentimes have discount codes. But that link also helps support the Nomads Nation YouTube channel and team so we can keep making the best bag reviews on the web. Thank you very much. Okay, let's talk about the front of the Rework Toshi Pack 20 liter. This is where things get real. Because I gotta be honest, I'm having a real hard time finding things about this bag that I don't love. But one thing to keep in mind when I talk about all the pros and the cons is the price point. If they're charging $250 for this bag, I wouldn't be as stoked about it, but I do think the price point is quite interesting with what we're doing here. And on the front, we can talk about this aesthetic. For me, this aesthetic is sort of like an Aer Pro Pack, 20 liter, Banged and Evergoods PLC, 20 liter. This is their offspring. But overall, that look is super sleek, and it's not incredibly reminiscent. We are getting slight Air vibes, right? And I guess one criticism I might have about this bag is it feels like it didn't take any risks, which is completely understandable because Rework, as of recording, is a new brand. They're still trying to figure out who they are, what their essence is. But this look is definitely urban as f. And one thing contributing to that is the primary fabric, which is an 840D nylon. It's got a ballistic weave, and this sort of a nylon is great for a bag like this because it's super abrasion resistant. It looks and feels great, and it'll have a bit of weather resistance as well. But one thing to note is keep in mind the price point. If you're used to Air bags or Evergoods bags, those companies use definitely a higher quality nylon weave. This nylon feels great and will absolutely stand the test of time, but it's just not gonna be as premium as some of its competitors, but that also makes sense given the lower price point. Now on the front, we got these 2 quick access pockets that in fact are just one pocket. 2 zippers, 1 pocket. And I think this is actually a really smart move by Rework. Reason being, pockets like this are great for quick access. For instance, you're walking down the street, you sling the bag around, and you can grab quickly whatever you need. But some people have complained with bags like, let's say, Evergoods, who are known for their quick access on their CPL24, is that it's on just one side of the bag. And some people are right shoulder wearers that like to flip and then use the left hand, and some people are left shoulder wearers like to flip and use the right hand. So there's a bit of a controversy in this super weird group of bag nerds like myself. But this bag gives you the best of both worlds, or does it? Because it is a little bit smaller of a pocket, as opposed to the Evergoods version, the CPL for instance, which is the entire height of the bag. This pocket's around 7+ inches, which means it is a little bit tighter to get in there, and there's no additional organization inside. But overall, dude, I think it's great. It's a good spot for your phone. And then on this side, we actually have a key leash. So I'm gonna go ahead and pop my keys on there. And I think ultimately these two zippered pockets are not meant to give you a ton of organization. Couple things that you want quick access to. And then no matter what shoulder you're wearing the bag on, quick swing, easy to grab. Let me know what you think below. Like, is this ambidextrous access cool? Would you prefer just one side to kind of make more use of the space? Let me know what you think in regards to these pockets in the comments below. Next up, let's talk about the drop-in pocket. Also should be noted, all these zippers are in fact YKK. This drop-in pocket just runs down to right about here. So you can see that this bottom part is for the quick access pockets. Drop pocket here. And notice we have a zipper pocket, 2 mesh pockets, and that is it. Which is gonna be one recurring potential make or break for some of y'all out there is where you might want more pockets. And I think the Rework Pack is a little bit more on the minimalist side, which I personally appreciate. But again, I know a lot of people might wish, there should be more pockets in there. A lot of these admin type pockets on bags could have double. They could easily put a pocket here. So keep in mind, some people might want more pockets, but if you're pretty minimalist like myself, you should be fine. Let's pack it out. So here I got some usual EDC stuff. We're gonna throw a wallet in this mesh pocket. Like this mesh, it's got some expansion to it. This is a Darlington mesh, pretty high quality. And the other pocket, we'll throw the AirPods and the tissues. Zipper pocket, it runs, all the way down to about here. Great spot for my meds. Then you can see in here, the pocket actually has a bit of depth. So my over-the-head Sony headphones should also fit here as well. Oh yeah, they're good to go there. I still wish there may have been a pocket right here, but overall, nice execution in this compartment. Very simple, but it gets the job done. Okay, moving on, let's talk about the middle of the Rework Toshi Pack 20 liter. Starting with the sides, Toshi has done a really cool thing where we got 2 water bottle pockets, one on each side. And I shouldn't call them water bottle pockets because they are in fact just side pockets that water bottles fit perfectly into, but you can put other things in there as well. I got some potential things we can shove into those side pockets. We're gonna fill out the main compartment first to get an idea of how all these pockets work with each other to see if they're not competing for space. Main compartment, YKK zipper, chunky. Let me guess, you're number 8, number 10. Damn it, it's off, it's close though. And you can see, again, a lot of minimalism going on, which is kind of a contradiction, not a lot. It's a minimalist pack, right? We've only got this mesh pocket here and a little sleeve right here. And that's it. Which if I would say there was any risks taken with this bag, it would be that they probably could have threw some more pockets in here, but they didn't. Packing it out, I'm gonna throw a book in the back sleeve, tech pouch at the bottom. I'll throw a keyboard in that back sleeve as well. Unbound merino hoodie. On the flip side, we're gonna throw a hard drive. Like the volume in this pocket, very nicely executed. And that's about it. Remember, for a 20 liter bag, it's not huge. We can definitely fit some more things at the top. Yeah, I mean, you got a whole nother tech pouch that you can fit right here at the top. You can see we have this top pocket here as well. One thing to know is that Rework is utilizing a ripstop fabric for the internal lining, which is, it's nice. It gets the job done. Again, I think it's perfectly in line with the price point. It's not the most premium, but remember this bag is not even 200 USD, so you get what you pay for. This is the ideal location for your sunglasses. The material's soft. It's not as soft as like a microfiber lining might be, like that you might see in some older versions of airbags, right? That kind of makes sure that your glasses are less likely to get scratched. But more or less, I do feel like my shades are pretty safe in this pocket, and these pockets are always super convenient to have. And then testing out the side pockets, I got a 24-ounce Columbia water bottle here. Definitely fits. You can see right here we got this elastic material that allows the pocket to expand, which then ensures that the water bottle is not eating into the main compartment too much, right? So it's not fighting for space. But this elastic component may die over time. Something to keep in mind, especially if you're using thicker water bottle. This is a 1 liter Yeti. A little bit tougher to get in, but we're still getting it in. And you can see we're not competing too much for space. But as I said, you could use these pockets for many things. I got an Evergoods Cap 0.5 tech pouch that fits very nicely. Or what most of you city dwellers might use it for, an umbrella. And also you can see we got these external lash points right here, which are great for clipping things onto your bag externally. Hand sanitizer, AirPods, whatever you want to clip, that's what these are for. Last note about the middle is the bag's ability to self-stand pretty well, actually, to be honest. I didn't think it would self-stand this well. I give it like a B- for self-standing, which means it's gonna probably stand 8 times out of 10, but that will depend on how you pack the bag out. It does lean forward, maybe just a little bit. So again, it's a solid self-stander, which is great at the weight, but it did feel a little bit more secure when there was a laptop in there. Now, before we jump into the next section, I gotta let you know, if you're loving this review and gear for EDC and travel in general, then you might be smitten to find out that here at Nomads Nation, we don't just do reviews on our YouTube channel, but we also have the Nomads Nation newsletter. And in that newsletter, you can kind of look at me as your reporter in the field, where I'm giving you the most up-to-date information of what's happening in this incredible industry. From we're talking new drops, collabs, limited edition bags, plus we have discount codes and giveaways that are exclusive just for our community. So if you want to keep your finger on the pulse of what's happening in this awesome world of bags, be sure to look for this globe emoji in the description below. There you can sign up to the Nomads Nation newsletter and hope to see you in your inbox. Back to the review. Okay, let's talk about the back of the Rework Toshi Pack 20 liter. The tech compartment is accessible with 2 YKK zippers and, should be noted, not PU coated. In fact, not a single PU coated zipper on this backpack, which I think makes sense for what Rework is doing, coming at a lower price point. PU coated zippers are actually more expensive. But also, we're seeing quite a movement in this community as to where people are kind of moving away from PU coated zippers. Reason being is that while they look sleek and might offer a bit more weather protection, they can peel over time. And nobody wants their expensive bag looking like this after a few years, right? But I still know some of you guys out there really like PU coated zippers, especially with a laptop compartment. Let me know. Missed opportunity? Are you okay with the lack of PU coated zippers? Let me know what you think about the zipper situation of this bag in the comments below. Moving in, you can see, again, pretty minimalist. Just one single sleeve right here and no additional pockets. Nope, that's it. I got a 13-inch MacBook Pro and you can see we got, 2 options of where to put it. You can see it fits on the front side of this sleeve, also fits on the back side. I got a cutout of a 16-inch MacBook Pro. You can see we're just barely fitting inside the sleeve. And yeah, kind of getting close here as well, but still can zip it up. 17-inch Asus VivoBook. And we are just barely getting that in. You can see we are putting some pressure on the corners here. I will say it's a very solid laptop compartment, great protection, bit of a false bottom that ends, where's that false bottom? Right around here. So you got a good inch that you're working with. It's a great false bottom, nice work, especially at this price point. Padding on the back panel, it just feels like a very protective cocoon for your laptop. Now for the top handle, I'm okay with it. It's not my favorite, not my least favorite. Not the easiest to grab, right? These top handles have a tendency to sort of be very flush against the backpack, which is great because it looks very sexy. But then when you're trying to grab it, sometimes it's a little bit harder. But more or less, it does get the job done. Love the padding that they put into here. Very chunky. And the nylon webbing is fantastic, which I think is great because this is a touch point of the bag. They did skimp on the nylon webbing on the other parts of the bag. This is like really cheap at the bottom of the shoulder strap. I mean, maybe not the cheapest, but like definitely not the best. But adding a nicer fabric here was definitely a nice touch because you are indeed touching it all the time. On the shoulder straps, we have external lash points on either side. Again, this is the cheaper nylon webbing. It'll get the job done. It's durable. It doesn't feel like super premium, which again, at the price point makes sense. Love the sternum strap. This is great for a few reasons. It's super easy to adjust and to remove completely if you're not into sternum straps. I, though, am very much so into sternum straps because I'm getting old. So we're gonna pop this guy back on. Rework has added a luggage pass-through holder that allows you to carry your bag upright, like so. This actually would be a pretty badass travel companion, right? You got a lot of vertical access points, so when the bag is underneath the seat in front of you, easy to grab the things that you need. And the pass-through feels pretty strong. It definitely works. Now, for the comfort of the bag, I found it pretty cozy to wear. We're just doing our B-roll outside for 30 minutes. Margaret and myself both agreed it was comfy. The internal lining on the shoulder strap is a little bit coarse for like my personal taste. But a good thing about it being coarser is it clings really well. It's not like as likely to slide off your shoulders. So you get that little bit of grip to work with. For the padding of the shoulder straps, it feels just a smidgen off from Aer, a little bit less padded than an Aer shoulder strap would be. We got dangle stoppers on the sternum strap and at the bottom of the shoulder straps, making this little guy happy. And back panel also really comfy. I mean, overall, it's a super comfortable bag, guys. I'm just gonna reiterate that the actual fabric used here, it is a little on the maybe like slightly scratchy, coarse side, but it's a lot of chunky padding, which if you're into that, you're really gonna be into this bag. It's sort of like that Aer ethos, chunky, beefy, well padded. But if you like a little bit lighter of an experience, the coarseness of the material and the chunkilishness of the actual padding itself might be a bit oppressive for you. And just a reminder, if you have any questions about this bag, you can ask me in the comments below, or you can ask in the Nomads Nation subreddit. We got the biggest and best bag community in the world there. It's a great spot to ask your questions, connect with other bag and gear lovers, and there's always somebody who wants to help, so be sure to check it out. Okay, let's talk about the overall pros and the cons of the Rework Toshi Pack 20 liter. Pro number one just has to be the overall functionality. Pro number two is gonna be the multiple ambidextrous access points. And pro number three is I think it's really exciting to see a great bag come in at a lower price point. But I got some cons as well. Let's talk about them. Con number one for some might be a lack of internal organization. Con number two is we did find the lining on the back panel and the shoulder straps to be a bit on the coarse side. And con number three is for some people, the lack of any PU-coated zippers might be a deal breaker. But if you're still watching this and you've weighed the pros and the cons and you're gonna make a purchase, just a reminder, we recommend that you do so with the first link in the description. Reason being that link makes sure that you get the best price, and if there's any discount codes, that's what they'll be. But if you're not quite sold, I got a couple of alternative bag recommendations that might better suit your needs. Now, first of all, if you're new to this channel, I recommend checking out my top picks. In this video, I go through different bags and different categories so you can get an idea of what's on the market, and we'll link this video in the corner for you. But if you're feeling like this Rework Toshi is very close, I got two alternative recommendations that are very similar, but might be a bit more up your alley. Alternative recommendation number one is gonna be the Aer Pro Pack 20 liter. Great pick for you if you're digging, most of what's happening with the Rework Toshi, but you want a bit more pockets and organization. Aer is also gonna come in at a slightly higher price point, but it definitely comes with more premium materials as well. And alternative recommendation number two is going to be the Bellroy Transit Workpack Pro. Great pick for you if you love sort of the aesthetic of the Rework Toshi, urban, sophisticated, but again, you want something slightly more premium and that we think has a little bit better comfort, but also is more expensive. Honestly, there's so many great bags on the market, it's hard to pick just one. This Rework Toshi has really impressed me, but if you also wanna learn more about the alternatives, just go ahead and watch these videos right here. If you got any questions about any bags, be sure to let me know in the comments below. Thank you so much for watching. My name is Aaron, this is Nomads Nation, and we'll catch you next time.